This episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing one of the very first films that I ever watched in a movie theater, and that is Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is based on the 1990 novel of the same name by Michael Crichton. Now, Michael Crichton also wrote the screenplay along with David Cope, and this film was directed by Steven Spielberg. It stars Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, Richard Attenborough, Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, the list goes on and on about the names that are in this film. Now, I was very young when I saw this movie. I was 6 years old, and I was blown away because it's basically when you see something like this and something come alive in 1993, to see dinosaurs come to life on the big screen is magnificent and absolutely phenomenal and fantastic. Steven Spielberg did an amazing thing. Now, if you understand the behind the scenes and the story that went into making this movie, then you've seen all those documentaries. Basically, it tells the story of a wealthy businessman named John Hammond and a team of genetic scientists who have created a wildlife park based on and trying to bring back dinosaurs. They're playing God, but you don't want to play God. Now, basically, certain industrial areas of this park and certain things happen and it sabotages the park. The park is not open, but all these visitors are here just to see what's happening. Now, Sam Neill is Alan Grant, Dr. Alan Grant. Laura Dern is Ellie Sattler. And Jeff Goldblum is Dr. Ian Malcolm. Jeff Goldblum as Dr. Ian Malcolm is phenomenal in this. He really stands out in this role, as does Sam Neill and Laura Dern. Richard Attenborough as John Hammond is fantastic, because Richard Attenborough was known as a stage actor at the time, did a lot of theater work, and he directed the Best Picture award-winning movie Gandhi in the 1980s. So seeing him go from directing to acting was really good. And Steven Spielberg is synonymous with working with directors. He worked with Francois Truffaut on Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which I believe is the fantastic addition of a director turned actor in a Steven Spielberg movie, and this is close second with Richard Attenborough playing John Hammond in this film. Now, Spielberg acquired the rights to this story for $1.5 million, $1.5 million before its publication in 1990. Now, Michael Crichton was then hired for an additional $500,000 to adapt it from the novel to the screen for the movie. Now, Coep wrote the final draft, but did change some certain things with taking out certain violent scenes and changing the characters to fit the mold of the movie. This was a very interesting, fantastic film. Now, while pre-preparations were going on for Jurassic Park, Steven Spielberg was finishing up Schindler's List. After Schindler's List, and he won an Oscar for that for Best Director, he went on to make this movie. This became the highest grossing movie of all time, up until 1997 when James Cameron's Titanic was released. The interesting thing about how the dinosaurs work in this is fantastic. The CGI in 1992, when the movie was going into production, was very different. We didn't see any of this on screen. I remember going to the theater with my father and my mother, and it was just that aspect of, wow, is this really happening right now? I'm seeing dinosaurs on the big screen in a movie. Of course, we got the old, from the 50s and 60s, those 10,000 BC movies, and that were claymation, but, nothing was interesting. This was animatronic, full-life, grown dinosaurs from Stan Winston himself, the man behind making of classic movies and props. Not only that, the computer-generated images were done by Industrial Light and Magic, ILM, which was part of George Lucas's production work. And the film underwent an extensive campaign for marketing, close to $70 billion just to get this movie out, and which included crazy amount of licensing deals with over 100 companies. Not only that, it was released in June of 1993, and it had a fantastic weekend run for many months and weeks to come. Not only that, it is the 17th and oldest film in history to surpass $1 billion. After this original came out, this was re-released in 3D. I saw it then in 3D, and it's even fantastic then, because you see some things happening. The Tyrannosaurus Rex, this hulking presence, fantastic. The raptors were the villains in this. I mean, just certain things happening, and what went into the park design, the aspect of, the amazing music by John Williams. It's when John Williams' score comes in and you hear that overture, it's just so perfect and so well done. This movie even started a franchise. Not only is Jurassic Park, but The Lost World Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and Jurassic World Dominion. I mean, big aspect of what's happening. And when you have a movie like this that started a craze that people went to see by word of mouth, based on science fiction, what would happen if we recreated dinosaurs from a little mosquito encased in amber? What happens if we take that and make it grow? Well, we see what happens in Jurassic Park. The action is great, the acting is great, the dynamic between the characters and the actors of what they have between each other is fantastic. When you see the Triceratops on screen for the first time, and you see Sam Neill's character, Alan Grant, lay his body on top of the stomach, and it just goes up and down, you think it's actually happening, and it's real. It's phenomenal that this was one of my first movies I've ever seen in the movie theaters. And it'll stay with me for the longest time until I get old. Whenever there's a re-release or real done in the movies, I'm definitely going to go see this. I love this movie for what it is. Steven Spielberg knew what he was doing, and he is a phenomenal filmmaker. And we all know that because he started sharks, he brought us aliens, and he brought us dinosaurs. He brought us a slew amount of different science fiction aspects of characters, and even adding action to it and making the computer imagery work with the CGI back in the 90s, along with the life-size animatronics, is great. When the Tyrannosaurus Rex is going on its rampage in the rain, it's just scary. You don't know what to think. There are horror elements to it, but not many, and so many quotable lines from this movie. It's a fantastic movie from start to finish that you have to see to believe. And if you haven't seen it, what are you waiting for? Check this movie out. You will fall in love with it like I did when I saw it for the very first time back in June of 1993. For me, Jurassic Park gets 5 out of 5 stars. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about Jurassic Park. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? If you loved it, what did you like about it? If you didn't like it, why didn't you like it? Were there some things that didn't make sense to you? Of course, the whole aspect of the dinosaurs being this and that, let's put the scientific matters aside and just break it down for the filmmaking aspect to it. And what do you think about Steven Spielberg directing this movie? Do you think he did a good job in it? Let me know in the comment section below about the questions I just asked, and let me know what rating you would give Jurassic Park, and I'll see you guys in the next review video.